problem. How many of you guys know who I am? Not to be narcissistic, I'm just asking if you're, because I've been gone for 5 months, you guys. 5 months, I've been gone. What does guests mean? There's all these buttons now that are here that I'm like, what do these things mean, you guys? Look at that. What the heck is that? Hosts, what does that mean? Sorry, I'm looking at all these features that I didn't know about with TikTok. My to-do list today. Units 1, 4, 8, 12, 13, 16. 1,200 a month times 5, that's 6,000. 1,400 a month times 1, 1,400 total 7,400. Paying out 1,200 off of that is 6,200 a month for me. How many more trailers can I put in Oakwood? Oh, that's a good question. At 15,000 a piece. Investors that have contacted me, that's cool. Should I move them into the construction area? Blah, that's something I got to do. So here's the scoop. Okay, this is down to a normal level. Like people are like down to like 28 people. Maybe I'll attract more viewers because that's what it's all about. If I put my cool new sunglasses on. Okay, let me ask you a good question. Do these work? These cool? I went kayaking yesterday, so what do you think? Should I work with these on? See, here's the funny thing about vanity. Even if they did look cool, and I'm not saying they do, but even if they did, I've got that thing where I can't see stuff with my glasses that's up close. I can't see it. And far away, I need my glasses, so that's pretty cool. You can share the best or worst experience you've had this week. Oh, I don't know, man. I think I told you the best was yesterday on my live. I shared my best experience this week, which was I went outside and I was meditating in the chair outside because I'm at my farm right now, my retreat, my meditative retreat. And I was pondering on, hey, you know what? Should I do TikTok anymore? I don't know that I'm getting anything out of it. I don't know if it's serving me. I'm just kind of wanting to be with that and see where I'm at because I've been away for 5 months. And the answer is, it's not about me. Wicked. It's about you guys. So here's what I'm offering out as I am working, because I got to work through some of this paperwork for real. But as I am doing that, I want you guys to say, here's something we can take advantage of. We can take advantage of, you know, this old dude who's done a whole lot of stuff. I've been self-employed. Oh no, it's saying swipe right to view more comments. Guys, I don't know what that means. Crap. Swipe right to view more comments. Swipe left to close. I don't know what that means. Crap. Sorry, I've messed something up again. Okay. So I have now been 33 years self-employed. That is a long time. That's probably older than most of you guys. But that's doing my own thing. That's being free. And I have made it my job in life to set as many people free from the things that restrict their ability to maximize what they feel like they're led to do on this planet. For a lot of people, they have biases saying, oh, well, I don't want to work. Yeah, I don't either. People question, should I be working 40 hours a week? I go, should you be working at all? Is that our natural space to do? Is that what we should be doing? Should we be working at all? I don't know. What you will find, though, here's me going against the grain of everybody on TikTok, because they're all telling you, no, just buy this crypto and stock, and then you'll make a bunch of money, and then you'll be free. Okay. I'll give a special shout out, not that that means, I'm just using the language, man. It doesn't mean anything. Who thinks that their life would dramatically change if they had all this money and they were to be able to do whatever they want? Who really thinks that? Because here's the funny thing. I'll go through a thought exercise. Do you guys want to do a thought exercise together? And by the way, do me a favor. I have 0 likes on this, so I don't know if I'm even reaching people. So if this is like, dude, it's the middle of the day. We just ate lunch. Now we're all carved up and stupid and tired. We want to go to bed. But if there's any of you that are engaged and you want to do a thought experiment with me, do me a favor. I don't need you to acknowledge me by giving me gifts. That makes me feel weird. I don't know what to do. But if you'll at least just do the minimal effort and tap the screen so that I know that I'm not talking to, wait, somebody did that. Crap, sorry. Well, shit. I'm not doing this very well, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay, because I just didn't know. It seemed on my end that I was talking to dead air, but then all of a sudden it's there. So who knows? But I want to do a thought experiment with you. There's 12 people on this live. If you don't mind sharing, and the more that you want to share, that's great. And if you don't, then you don't have to. But my question for you is, how many of you have made $5,000 a month? Let's just do this rapid fire. How many of you have made $5,000 a month? That's 60 grand a year. And I promise you, on my life, on my soul, I will never, ever, ever disparage whatever level you're at. That's cruel. I would never do that. That's silly. So how many of you made 5,000? Next question. How many of you made 10,000 a month? How many of you guys made 10,000 a month? How many of you guys have made 15,000 a month? So the funny part about it is this. That's not that huge a thing to achieve through real estate or anything else like that. And here's what's weird. Once you've paid off your expenditures like a mortgage or a car, and you don't have stupid debt, and you live frugally and you do all that stuff, now let's say you have $15,000 disposable income to spend in a month. Well, what do? You start saving for your retirement, which you're never going to retire, because even when you do, you won't. I promise you, every single time I've retired, I'm like, take a couple of years off, go do some stuff, take 4 months off, do whatever, and then like, all right, time to do some stuff again. So I don't know that retirement is real. Travel, I absolutely did that. Go to Japan, take $20,000 cash, try to blow it all in 20 days. That's a good thing. Go to Hawaii, stay at the Grand Wailea in Maui. Go to Burning Man 8 times. Go everywhere. Save up, make a business, of course. But you're saying you still want to work because you're going to be working in that business, right? But here's the point. I want you guys to think about this. What would you spend? You've paid all your expenses, your car payments, your house payments, whatever stupid debt you've got, credit cards, whatever dumb stuff you've got going on. And you have $15,000. And you're saving retirement, that's all taken care of. This is a thought experiment. What do you spend that $15,000 on that you have sitting in account? Exactly, Nagai. Purpose of life is to be as flawless. Here's my own personal code of conduct. Ready? And I know I'm why on this planet. That makes me deadly, deadly, deadly dangerous. I am here in order to be able to be anyone, in any way, at any time, in service to mankind. You need me to teach in front of 20,000 people? Sure. You need me to deliver a eulogy? Sure. You need me to pick up a gun and kill someone? Sure. You need me to deliver a baby? Sure. You need me to speak languages? Sure. You need me to build a house? Sure. You need me to save a life? Sure. Whatever you need. So my job has been to be a Renaissance man in service to mankind. So, but back to the question, you guys. You've paid all your debt, you've paid your house payment, your car payment, whatever other things you've got going, you're investing, you're saving for your retirement, blah, 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 and you have $15,000 extra. What do you spend it on? What do you spend it on? Seriously, I'm asking you guys. This is what Phil Margera is doing now. Loved you on Viva La Bam. I don't know who Phil Margera is, or I don't know what Viva La Bam is. When I made $5,000 a month, I wasn't happy. It hurt me to the point where I retired medically. Oh, that's a bummer. But going back to the idea of if you had $15,000 extra a month, so what do? You go, you know what? I've always wanted a new fountain pen. I collect fountain pens. I like them. Okay? These ones are cheap because I'm throwing them around. So you buy a fountain pen. You go, I like watches. So you buy a watch. You take a little vacation. You do that kind of stuff. Cool. What do you do if you have $15,000 extra per month and you've already spent all the money that you needed to on your debt? What do you do? None of you guys are volunteering. That means either it's way out of your conceivability, which is sad, or you think it's a dumb question. And if it is, you can say, hey, old dude who shouldn't be on TikTok, that's a dumb question. We're not answering that. And that's fine too. Invested farms. Okay, check it out, man. Do you mean marijuana? Is that a pun on marijuana? Greed motivates America, breaks my heart. I give all my money away. I don't care. I want to go to heave. Okay, I would plant it all in seed. I'm a farmer. Hey, Mariano Rodriguez. Here's my life, my friend. There you go. This is the meditative retreat / farm that I live at 50% of the time. And I spend the rest of the time I live in Portland, Oregon. So I would save half for labor. Okay. So here's my question though. So most of these are these things, but again, what if all your business stuff was taken care of? You're taking care of every bit of debt, every bit of investment, every bit of growth. I'm asking you, what would you do to, what would you spend that money on? Greed motivates America. It breaks my heart. Doesn't break my heart at all, Miguel. Not even remotely, because you've got a misinterpretation of what greed is. And I understand it. You probably haven't really seen, this idea of like, I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of myself. I want to take care of my friends. I want to build people up and elevate them. Oh, you're focusing on what you want. Yeah, I'm greedy. That's greed, man. That's greed. It's easy. Hire a developer to build me a general AI to boost my intelligence like Mass Effect 2. I don't know what that means. 15,000 really is much. I know it isn't. Hey, Amari Group. Say hi and return the favorite. Well, Amari Group, if you guys do not follow Joey at Amari Group will set your head straight, because here, I was one of the first followers of his on TikTok, because what I appreciate is he is a paleophile. Work with me. He has an absolute love for where we came from in the ancient traditions and how we got from here to there. And I think his focus is primarily on American history, which I find fascinating, as I enjoy it as well. And the other thing that I really like is that Joey speaks the same 4 languages I do. That's creepy, isn't it, you guys? English, German, French, Spanish. Isn't that weird? So anyway, but if you want to, Mari Group is pretty cool. I think the branding with their name is a little wonky, because I know what they're trying to do, and they have such an incredible branded mission statement as far as how people can find control, peace, and setting the direction in their life, whereas it seems like we've just gone to this bitter infighting where nobody's able to focus on anything. He and I jam on the fact that we're both 10th Amendment people. And if you don't know what the 10th Amendment people is, then you should feel bad, and you can go read it. But anyway, I want to go back to the 15,000. Well, the other partners are wrong. You can tell them that you had feedback from someone who is self-made, literally self-made, comes from the very bottom, and who's 33 years self-employed and says the name is not great. Let's see. American history, is it edited version? I don't know, might be. I think most of you read an edited version because you're not willing to look at what the founding fathers were reading. What were their primary, not tertiary, what were their primary sources of evidence that they looked at? If you were willing to step into it, you could say, like, look at the reductionist ideas that we have. Oh, they did what they did because they were all racist. They did this because they were white. You're putting people into such a reductionist worldview rather than going, God, for me to find out what they were thinking, maybe I should read what they wrote. Maybe I should read what they were reading. I don't know. You could kick it around. I might be wrong. Plant medicine helps. When people say plant medicine, I think they always mean weed. Here's what's funny. I'm completely pro-weed, 100% pro-weed, 1,000,000%. I don't particularly use it. It's not my thing. And I live in Oregon. Can you believe it? I'm the one dude who doesn't smoke weed in the Pacific Northwest. Holy crap. And not from any conservative thing, you guys. So look at this. They read Freemasonic. No, the Freemason stuff that you're talking about, they read way, way before that. Way, way, way before. There were so many people that they were reading that when you read it and you really get into history, I'll tell you what, I wish, if Joey's still here, I'm going to ask him. I'm just going to ask him if he's still here. Have you read something of what the founding fathers were reading, and you read a paragraph and you're just like gutted? You're like, holy crap, that's the most intelligent thing, so much that it brings you to tears. Do I use mushroom or ayahuasca? Spelling on that and everything. I am a proponent for people, if they're going to take control of their mental centers and stuff, I would rather see people do microdosing of mushrooms rather than doing it for any kind of party atmosphere or anything. Ayahuasca that you're talking about, that's, I personally have not done that. We could talk about DMT, we can talk about that, but I think that people are missing it, which is, I'm cautious talking to young people because it seems like there's a very cavalier attitude towards things. Our group says every dang day. You know it when you read something. Man, I can't read stuff. Horace, chapter 1, verse 24. It's in these things of how should we treat criticism, how should we look at stuff. And in this sentence, in Latin, and it can be translated like 5 ways, but the translation that I like is, he says, what forbids us to tell the truth laughingly? What forbids us to tell the truth laughingly? That resonated with me so much. That's where Laughing Truth comes from. Horace, chapter 1, verse 24. Anyway, but I didn't really want to talk about drugs with you guys. I'm always a freedom person, so whatever you need to do to be free, as long as you're willing to accept responsibility for your actions, because there's always consequences. And if you're doing something that intrinsically is not hurting another human being, how can I say no? If I were to say no, it means I want to control you. And if I wanted to control you when you are not harming somebody, that would be quite, to use the kids' words, that'd be quite fascist of me, wouldn't it? Instead, I am just but a mere anarchist who says, I shouldn't say that. That's kind of funny. Anyway, the point is that you guys, if you understand that freedom and liberty are bitter sworn enemies and eternal enemies, and you understand that equality and freedom are always going to be enemies. Wait, hang on, I want to read these comments. I'm sorry. Plant medicine, ayahuasca, mushrooms. Hey, Gabriel, how are you? Good to see you. Stop by for help. Good job working out. That's awesome. I've been away for about 5 months, guys. I know. I got to think about it. Anarchy is the only true liberty. Okay, so here's the thing. In Amari groups, in Joey's definition, what he's talking about is, would you pass a law over your fellow man to stop them from doing something that doesn't harm anybody else? If you wouldn't, welcome to being an anarchist. Okay. But I want to go back to our $15,000 experiment, if you guys don't mind. My point is this. The first month you buy a watch, you buy some cool stuff, you buy a new pen, you buy some clothes. The second month you go, oh, cool. And you go, I'm going to buy a car and some other stuff, and you start buying stuff. Do you guys know how hard it is to blow $15,000 a month? It's really freaking hard. So my point is that we need to pull the wool back from our eyes about so many things, because I'm not a negative person, but help your community, aka charity. No, not going to help my community. Nope. I will invest in my community so they can help themselves, but there is no freaking way that I'm going to go and enable behaviors that I don't agree with. I think it's wrong. What I will do is I will open up potential for helping my community in things like infinite education. Do you want to know, can I share with you guys why I'm actually back on TikTok? It's kind of interesting. Somebody sent me a video from this guy, and his name is like, I think his name is like Greatness, for real. I think that's what it is. And he just goes around giving money to people, which is sort of weird. None of the stuff you talk about is everlasting. I absolutely think you're completely wrong. Can we talk about it? The stuff that I do is I impact people and transform them so dramatically that they have their time before they met me and the time after. And when the time after, everything has changed, and they're like, dude, I met this weird dude, and he pulled the wool back from my eyes, and I see things differently, and impacts their relationships and the people that they know and their friendships and their family and how they live their life and their debt and financial, mental, social, emotional, physical, spiritual, all of it. And so just because someone says, hey, let's hold up a mirror, let's talk about some things, let's try to get closer to the truth together. Don't care about the homeless community. So my point is, I see what you mean, marijuana, about like these things. No, of course they don't matter. But. Point being is that what we do have is this. We have our legacy. We have the imprint that we've left on humanity. We have the people. And dude, you guys I'm so much older than you guys. But I can tell you, I have helped so many people radically transform their lives that it's just freaking sick, because I could die right now today. And I'm like, I follow my own creation, the warrior's path, which is, goes like this. We know that when we take on the hard things in life and achieve them and overcome them, that's what makes us truly happy. Not, I'm going to sit in the corner and smoke weed and play my bongo all day. Yeah, you might think you're happy, but after about 4 years of doing that, you're going to go, shit, I need to do something with my life. So, my point is to say, why not lean into the hero's journey? Why not embrace suffering? Why not Viktor Frankl this thing? And if you don't know who Viktor Frankl is, again, you should be shamed. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, is my very, very favorite book. And if you haven't read it, oh well. You probably won't. That's okay. Maybe somebody will. And because in it, he was in the concentration camps in Germany. But wait, make sure that I'm right on which ones he was in. I can't remember. Give me a minute. But anyway, he watched, and his first part of it is like, why did some people live and some people die? And so the interesting part about it is that he sort of like just checked and was saying, hey, who lives, who dies in these concentration camps? And came up with a thing which is, it's the extent of their why, their purpose, their absolute mission. Let's see. So my point is this, and then in his second part of his book, he says this: between stimulus, beep, 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 and response, beep, 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 stimulus, response, between the two, there exists a space. And in that space lies a choice. And in that choice lies our freedom. We can choose not to react. We can choose to act. And to me, that is breaking the cycle of hatred and living from a space of love. So that's my jam. None of the stuff you talk about is everlasting. Yeah, I know. Why would a pen be everlasting? I get it. No, he's a Luciferian. You guys should see my TikTok. They're like, LaughingTruth, we know you're a Buddhist, of course. No, he's not a Buddhist. He's a Christian. No, he's not a Christian. He's a pagan. We know that. No, he's not a pagan. He's a mentalist. No, he's not. So, and that's why I laughed when he talks to you with deceit. Okay. So I will say this: whatever you guys need to believe about me is fine. Whatever you want to do, that's okay. Some of this is kind of mean, like Fleetwood Mac. Like Fleetwood Mac. I get it. Are you not an empath? I don't know. I'm not sure what an empath really is. I know that people have these terms that they use. I'm a lot older than that. My story, you guys, just so you know, is I've been away from television and movies and social media and video games for many years. And so I'm now re-entering that, just, 2 years now, I guess. So a lot of these words that you guys use are weird. I remember I'm older than you guys. And so I'm back when it was like, it wasn't cool to have a disability. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, that's something you have to work through. I have a lot of compassion for that. And now it's like, I don't know many people who would not be proud of saying, oh, I'm a this, look at me. And they've defined themselves by sort of self-pathologizing. So that's a weird thing. With a society, we'd be called narcissist. Okay, whatever you need, man. Small frontal home, no empathy for others like the homeless. So the homeless don't have empathy? No empathy for others like the homeless. I don't know. But Mariano, there's a lot of assumptions that you're making. And I'm not sure if that's just something you want to do, but I mean, can you imagine what the world would look like if we all made assumptions like that? Look at Mariano. He smokes weed and he uses plant medicine, so he's just hippied out, and he believes that he's really trying to help people. He's an empath, but really what it is he hasn't ever done anything effective in life. You've never asked me what I have done for the homeless, have you? Instead, you just said, do you have empathy? Because there's an interesting thing. You never bothered to have any discernment or any nuance or any clarity. Instead, it's just quick leaping to the answer that you want. You know what I mean? Which is, let me put you in a box. Mariano, you don't get to do that. I refuse to enter the box that you are placing in me. Right. Look at the way you frame the question. Do you care about starving kids in Africa? Do you care about them? Right now, yes or no? Do you care about starving kids in Africa? Do you care? Yes or no? I'm gonna throw you off this channel if you don't answer me in like 10 seconds, because I want to get back to what we're talking about. But you're trying to pigeonhole me, and I don't like that. So you don't care about starving kids in Africa. Do you care about the homeless? Yes or no? The homeless. See how uncritical that word is, you guys? The homeless. It sounds good. People that, okay, what have you done? In the last 20 minutes, you could have done all kinds of stuff for the homeless, but your actions belie that. Instead, you're watching TikTok. So how are you telling me that you care about them? I live in Portland, Oregon, dude. You have no idea about the mess they leave. So for me, the word was, do I care about the homeless? It's a dumb word because which homeless are we talking about? The mentally ill, the drug addicted, the eco warriors that are choosing not to live in this society. Okay, that's different. Are we talking about people that are temporarily economically disenfranchised because they lost their job, or maybe their partner walked out of them and they can't afford rent? This is a completely different thing. So when you throw out garbage terms like that, it's meant to evoke an emotional response, and it's manipulative, and I just don't do it. So, you know, that's my jam. Do I care about cleaning up after the homeless? Yeah, of course I do. Give me a break. I live in Portland, Oregon. Our city's gone to shit. It's complete garbage. Yeah, see, the thing is actually you need to know that homeless is a triggering term, and you're not supposed to use it because somebody could be living in a tent, and technically that's home. So a home. So really, you need to refer to them as the unhoused because hate has no place here. Anyway, Saint Doggy Dog 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 Dog. Welcome. So anyway, I want to go back to this idea of like, let's pull some wool back on a couple of ideas that you've been given, because most of you are really haven't suffered enough to be broken enough to have to look at everything so critically. So let's think about it. Childhood education, learn to sit in a chair. Cool. If you're a guy, learn to stop misbehaving and make sure that you act like a girl. Boys in school are failed girls. That's the thing. Why can't you be like Marissa? She sits there quietly. Why can't you? Early childhood education is done. Then what do we get after that? We go to later education. We go through high school. Then what are we supposed to do after that? Go to university. What percentage of people work within their field of their education? 94% of people do not work in the field in which they have a degree. 94%. 94. So they go through and they study cultural anthropology, and then they get a job as a bank teller. So my point is this. That's kind of a lie. Okay, great. Now buy a house and stick you with debt for 30 years. 30 years that you have to be a slave to pay for that house. Does that make any sense? Not really. What other lies are we told? Oh, material possessions will make you happy. Go buy stuff. Okay. No, that's not going to work either. So then what the thing is what's being hidden from us is digging truly deep and seeing what is it that will actually bring us joy and make us happy. And the interesting thing that we come up with is that happiness is a side effect of being on a mission. Happiness is a side effect of leaning into your fears, taking on the big challenges and fighting them. And maybe you win, maybe you lose, but I guarantee, even if you get your ass kicked, you're going to be better for having done that than just to cower away and lean back from life. Isn't that how you started this live, 15,000? Well, I was talking about that it's hard to blow that much money. And my point about it is that everyone says they want to be millionaires, they want this and this and this, but nobody, what brings me joy? Great question. Two things: taking on impossible things, taking on the hardest damn thing you could ever imagine. Am I kidding about that? And then the second thing, so I'm going to give you an example of taking on the impossible things. About 5.5 months ago, I have been in real estate for 33 years. I'm very, very good at it. I can do just about everything. I've invested for a long time. It's easy. I can do it in my sleep. And I realized that for me to scale the projects that I'm doing of buying mobile home parks and converting them into intentional living communities with really dignified kick-ass housing. Oh, someone said the homeless thing. Oh, I didn't care. Okay. So for me to fulfill that mission, I needed to stop thinking like a real estate syndicate person, right? And I needed to start thinking of a investment banker. Okay, the bigger money things. I need to run a $75 million fund for this to do what I'm doing. I need to do a Series D 506C or 506B private equity investment fund in order to scale what I'm doing to a level that it kicks super much ass. when I began, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. This is going to be great. And my self-talk was like this: dude, you're too stupid. You peaked. You do not understand the stuff. You don't know what you're doing, and you're too old. You can't do it. Your brain just doesn't have the capacity. And this talk was like this, and I was like, okay, you're right. I can't do it. I'm too old. I'm too stupid. But you know what? Because of that, I'm going to punish myself by doing it anyway, knowing that I can't. Ha, gotcha. So do I have partners? Yeah, lots of, absolutely. To do a syndication, to do a, at the level that we're operating on, there's tons of partners. If you mean partners in the company, that's actually something that is being developed right now. If you mean partners in terms of investment partners, of course, sure. So taking on the impossible task, being on a heroic quest where you truly don't know if you're going to get killed or not. You truly don't know if you're going to survive it. That makes me happy, because that is me life affirming and saying, thank you for this thing. Thank you for the test to see if I'm full of shit or not. Thank you for whatever you want to bring to me. I'm down with the experience of it. Let me ask some questions, because then I'll give you the second thing that makes me happy. What brings you joy? It won't bring you joy. Brick walls. Okay. Is real estate the best investment? The question you should be asking, is it the best investment for you? For me, it is, because I am tired of hearing people talk about getting rich in crypto and equities, and I've seen where everybody got slaughtered. Last August, I told everyone, get out of equities, get out of crypto, get flat. I believe that the capital markets are racing towards asset-backed securities like real estate. I happen to have a very niche play that I do there that makes me recession and inflation proof, and also makes a hell of a lot of money. That's my niche. So may I suggest plant medicine again? Sure, you can suggest whatever you want, man. Your mind is good, but your health is that the best, but your health is that the best shape. My health being the best shape? No. I'm a powerlifter and I got fat. That's what happened, man. And so that's been a fun thing for me to work on and go, okay, I need to correct this through diet and exercise. It's been really cool. And lifting again. And I couldn't be any more overjoyed than the process that I'm on that. So you're not afraid that will take you out first? I'm not afraid of anything. Mario, why would I be afraid of anything? This book that we're in, chapters, amazing paragraphs, things that come and go, characters die off. And guess what? The book ends. But my legacy won't. And that's really cool. So no, I'm not afraid. No, I'm definitely not afraid that my health will take me out first. What is Philosopher Warrior? That's me. It means someone that is saying, looking at what needs to happen in service to mankind and saying, whatever you need me to do. To say, you need me to deliver a speech? Great. You need me to help you fix a chair. You need me to hug you and tell you that it's okay that your father died. You need me to cook you an amazing meal. You need me to recite poetry to you. Whatever you need in service to mankind, I am open to doing. And I would say, not only that, but making friends with death. Here, death sits right on my shoulder. Is to know that this story ends. This is the big thing we never talk about. This story ends. See, you guys are all idiots because you think that you're eternal creatures, and you go, well, I can wrap myself in a belief about God or this, and whatever you need to do to hide away from the fact that your body is going to die and that whatever you did here is going to end. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say, nope, I know it right here all the time, every fucking day. I know that I'm going to die. And so I go, what can I do with this day to show my worth as a warrior? Putting people down is the way to educate. Okay, well, if you're offended by it, ask yourself instead, why did I take offense to that? That might be an interesting question. I'm not a gentle person. I hold up a mirror, and if you said to me, hey, you're an idiot because you don't think about death and you think you're going to live forever, I would go, oh, okay. It wouldn't affect me. It would just bounce off. If you're choosing to be offended by that, what does it say about your own vulnerability about what I'm saying? And I don't mean that with any criticism at all, I promise. I mean that with nothing but love. That's it. I just mean that with love, but it's also, I'm not going to sugarcoat something. If you're pretending and denying that you're going to die so that you can wrap yourself in, what do people do to avoid this thing called death? Oh, I'll throw myself into material objects. Oh, I'll start using drugs. Oh, I'll chase women. I'll do this. I'll do all these kind of things. anything but face the fact that we're only here for a short time, man. And so I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to lean into it and go, let's make it better and let's create something of a legacy. Which brings me to the second thing that makes me happy. First is taking on impossible odds and winning or losing. That's cool. I have so much gratitude for the suffering that I have in life that way. So much gratitude. Second thing is seeing everyone around me elevate, seeing everyone around me be brought up to the next level and seeing them rise up. That is pretty freaking cool. That makes me happy. So Fleetwood Mac or Fleetwood Mac, I will tell you, if you took offense at me saying you all think you're eternal creatures and for that you're an idiot, think of the pain that causes versus, holy shit, I was listening to this weirdo on TikTok who shouldn't even be there. He's too old and too stupid. And he told me I need to think about the fact that I'm going to die and what do I want to do with my life? And you may come back and go, hey man, thank you. I thought about stuff. I was on the wrong path and I changed it up and I leaned into it and I'm going to do X. And I'm like, right on. Marijuano says, what have you done to get close to spirit? Again, I'm not being pedantic, but why would I get close to spirit when I am spirit? Why would I get close to something that I already am? Already eternally. I'm the same spirit that you are, you know? So if we're conscious and we have self-awareness on this planet and all animals have some degree of self-consciousness, it's greater or lesser levels, and we all come from the same stuff called Earth, then we have to accept that there's some consciousness that's rooted to Earth, which means it's in the universe and there's a universal consciousness. Okay, cool. Done. So the question is, what do we want to do with it? You know, now that you know, what do you do with it? You can see it from another dimension. Hell yes, you can. Absolutely true. No question. Question is this, Mario. Is my life better for the fact that I know this? I don't believe it. I know this. Is my life better for that or not better for that? Which is why I can't talk to people about ayahuasca, DMT, stuff like that, because I go, I don't know. I think that's a very personal choice. I don't know that my life is better knowing this stuff. Healing, Pyromaniac, Fleetwood Mac, Sent Light, Milo. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to catch up on the things. If you see it from another dimension, you would know. I said I know. I know. Am I better for that is my question. Does it make me a better partner? Does it make me a better father? Does it make me a better business leader? Does it make me a better friend? Does it make me... I wonder if there's a question. Marijuana, I want to ask you a question. Is English your first language or not? I'm going to say it a different way. If you don't try it, you will never know. And I said, I know. You picking up what I'm laying down? Depends on what you do with that information. I know, right? I don't know how to answer that because I know, Mario, I know. I'm answering your question. I know. But I don't know that it's making me a better person in the here and now in the stuff that really matters. I can't answer that quite yet. I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, Fleetwood, I don't want you to ever take, I am very abrasive and very abrupt on stuff and everything. And if you find yourself being offended, yell at me back or say something rude back if I've said something rude to you, or maybe look at it and go, this guy just said I'm an idiot for not considering death. Am I going to back off that position? No, I'm not. If you're not thinking about death and thinking about that your time here is so brief and what legacy do you want to leave and how do you want to elevate people and how do you want to create community and how do you want to change the world and how do you want to leave it better than when you came in, you're an idiot. Of course I've heard of ego-death. Yeah, I've experienced it 4 times. Twice was absolutely incredibly horrific. The other 2 times were fine. But I mean, you're hooked up on this, you're kind of pushing everything towards, I think you're pushing things towards, you're on the plant medicine spiritual journey path. You know what I mean? Ooh, that's a good question. Aren't all journeys ego-death? That's a great statement. I hope so. I hope so. Because to me, the hero's journey that I follow is sometimes you go along and you go, wow, the thing that I thought I was searching for was not actually what it really was. And what I came back with and who I came back as after everything was not the same person that I went out as. So I think there's something there for ego death. Um, yeah, I think that's possible. So sure, you get rid of old road paths you have in the brain. Neuroadaptation and neurogenesis, which can be used through psilocybin cubensis, aka the golden teacher, can be used to create neural pathways in people in a microdosing setting, or you can do it in a large amount, 4 grams at a time. It's whatever you need to do. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about, though, man. I'm saying it sounds like you're on a spiritual, aka plant medicine, I want to trip kind of a jam. I don't think that's where I'm at. I'm trying to say we can get to what you're talking about without necessarily having to pigeonhole it into I need to take DMT, I need to smoke DMT, or I need to take ayahuasca. I think that is a thing that is great for people to, at least if they didn't ever have the courage to alter their states through putting themselves into positions where their brain needed to adapt, sure. But I'm not sure that that's where we're going. Unless you guys want to say, hey, let's just talk about drugs, then we can do that. It's fine, whatever you need. What happens on larger amounts of psilocybin or LSD, or certainly DMT, is there's sort of a chrysalis point at which you don't believe, but you know that the you was plastic and glass and fragile and shattered, and all the things that you thought made you were a lie. And that's a very terrifying thing, aka ego death. But then there's also still the consciousness that remains, where you go, there's consciousness, but it's not the I that I'm thinking. It is the big I, the I am that is thinking. So anyway, that's I think where he's going with that, or she. I don't know if Mario's a. I'm more interested in philosophy. Which type of philosophy? I am interested in pre-moralistic Greek philosophy. That's what I'm interested in. My personal jam, and this makes me insufferable, this makes me a horrible person, is I'm a Nietzsche person. In my view, there's no ego to die. Ego is just our idea of self. Well, if ego is the idea of self, then that's what ego is. So when you say there's no ego to die, you could just as easily say, well, then our idea of self dies. You know what I mean? So, I think that's, hopefully we can put ourselves into, all right, I'm going to say it in a philosophy way. I do not believe that anyone can overcome their self-perception. If they see themselves a certain way, then that's what their life is going to look like. Everything externally is going to match their internal valuation of how they see themselves. And if that's the truth, then whatever we can do to break that, I don't care how we have to break it. I don't care at all. Whatever we have to do, then we can do it. I think nirvana is an interesting concept because, to me, are you familiar, Fleetwood Mac, with Vipassana meditation? If you guys don't know, there are free 10-day Vipassana retreats around you that you can go attend. So I don't know if I can type in Vipassana for you guys so that you can spell it, but it's Vipassana, Vipassana, Vipassana meditations. I bring that up because, I think that people have, built up nirvana and the idea of being in an egoless state and transcending that, and transcending the samsara, the cycle of suffering, through the practice of samadhi or satori, this enlightenment of this waking up. What if it didn't need to be this binary thing, like here we are rooted in ego, here we are free of the ego, and what do we have to do to be in that state? I think that there's another way to look at it, and it's just the state of waking up, which means it can be a slow, gradual process for some people. It can be extreme for others. So yeah, let me get some questions. Ego is just our idea of self. I agree. So your journey is limited. Might be. What about nirvana? We answered that. So you see, Mario, whatever we have to do to break it isn't against plant medicine. I'm definitely not against plant medicine. I didn't say that. That's the whole point. You see yourself from another perspective people are afraid to see. I am not afraid to see it. Definitely not. I just didn't think it leads us anywhere, because if I say, let's talk about drug use, then you go, oh, that's not LaughingTruth. He's a plant medicine guy. Oh no, he's a business guy. No, he's an educator. No, he's a philosopher. No, he's a warrior. No, and I'm not. I don't really want to be in a box. That seems boring. So there you go. See yourself from other perspectives humbles yourself. It does. Want to know what also humbles yourself? Seeing your perspective from the universe. How is it that I was thinking? I sat in a chair last night before last actually, and I was just looking up at the stars, because where I am there is zero light pollution, none at all in the sky. And I was looking up all the stars, and I was thinking about TikTok, and I was like, I don't know that it's serving me. I don't enjoy watching content. I think it's dumb. I don't really get much out of it. There's only a few people that I find value in, and it's on very specific topics. Trendy culture, and let's see how edgy we can be, and the sexualization of everything and all that. It's not my jam. It just doesn't work for me. And I was like, so should I still make content given the fact that I've said what I need to say? And if people are listening, great. And if not, fuck them. I can't make people listen to me. I've said so much stuff out there that has given people, hopefully, enough seeds that if they're really interested, they can go find it and do something. And then I was like, it doesn't really serve me anymore. Okay. I was sitting in a chair outside, and this overwhelming thought that I was the recipient of the thought. Hear me out. I was one who the thought came to. I was not the originator of the thought. So the thought came to me, and I'm going, oh. And the big voice was, what if it's not about you? Holy shit. So that's sort of like, keep talking to people on TikTok, keep reaching people mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, socially, etc. But the whole point is that maybe I'm not doing this for my own edification or something like that. So that's an interesting concept, and that's pretty humbling, to say, hey, no, you're not quite done. Okay, cool. Here's my question for you guys is, when you say your head needs to reset, my question for you, Mario, is why do you believe that it has to be plant medicine that can is the only way that it can do that? Why do you think it's that's just a single path, but why do you think it's like the whole way, like you've glommed onto it as a religion or anything else like that? I mean, what is that? Where does that get you? Disability of not speaking English? I find drug talk really fucking boring. I find it extremely boring. Dude, I just smoked DMT and I broke through the chrysalis and I experienced ego death. Okay. Does that make you a better person? Did you help your neighbor with their trash today? See what I mean? I'm bringing it down to, I'm trying to bring it down to the level of like, did it make me a better person? I don't know. So people have asked me, should I do this? I go, I don't know. I can't answer that for you. Because to me, great, you experienced the Godhead, you experienced your epiphany, you experienced break through the chrysalis and experience nirvana, and not just on ayahuasca, which is baby steps. I'm talking about DMT, completely different thing. Is that really where you think it's at? Is because to me, it just reflects this narcissism, like, oh, I'm going to go fuck chicks. I'm going to go this. I'm going to go have my spiritual experience. Or what are we trying to do? It seems like it's spiritual materialism. So hear me out for a second. Like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a car. I'm gonna go buy a girl. Oh, I'm gonna go have a religious experience. Oh, I went to that and I ate mushrooms. I don't know. I just don't know. And so I'm asking you. To me, something very sacred has been cheapened by the idea that, oh, what did you do? Oh, we went to Burning Man. Oh, and then what we did an ayahuasca ceremony, and then we did this. And it seems like, wow, are you a better person for that? Have you changed at all? Have you become more compassionate? Are you more giving? Are you helpful? Are you learning? Are you uplifting? Are you more realized? Or is it just another check mark for the narcissist sort of ego state that we happen to find ourselves trapped in social media? I don't think true nirvana is death at all, not even remotely. I just wouldn't agree with that, because true nirvana is not, you're looking at it like you're just a drop of water and you're dropped in the ocean and you become invisible. And my experience of nirvana is the whole ocean enters the drop of water. And when you have an understanding, the German term of Ganz is a pretty good word, G-A-N-Z, of understanding sort of everything in balance. And I think it's the ineffable. I think it's hard to describe with words. It's almost impossible. Extinction of desire, hatred, and ignorance, and ultimately of suffering and rebirth. Burning Man was your thing. I don't know. I've been 8 times. I don't know if it's my thing. I stopped going. I'm old, remember? So I think my last year that I went to Burning Man was 2008, I think, because I wanted to start traveling the world more than I was, so I traveled more. Yeah, Burning Man, that's not my thing. It's something I've done. But I mean, your topic, we're talking about different things. You're asking me about, I hope not. Do my kids have the same belief? I hope not. I wouldn't want that. Realizing people have their own lives. Yeah, so here's what's interesting, Fleetwood, is do you see how that's fundamentally like, when I use the word Sandra, I always call it reverse solipsism. Do you know what I mean by solipsism? Again, I'm not trying to talk over you, but it's an interesting word. Because solipsism is the idea that everyone else is just a manifestation of your mind, of your story. And Sandra is kind of this whole thing of like refuting that and saying, no, everyone's got their own complex thing. Yeah. Are they not your living legacy? Yeah, and what I taught them from a very young age is my beliefs are my beliefs, your beliefs are going to be what you explore. I have some overarching paradigms that I would hope that we could share, and I want to give you a reason why, which is why you should always love yourself and why you should always love your neighbor, and what it means and how it's the most selfish thing in the whole world that you can do is to love yourself and your neighbor. I'll let you guys ponder on that one. So sure, did we discuss ethics, values, rhetoric in my house? Of course we did. The ability to debate something fiercely, hold a position on it, absolutely. But I'm not going to tell them what to believe because I would never do that. Fleetwood, why would you want the extinction of desire? What about meeting your desires? I think a lot of people, Henry, give up on their desires, and so they have sort of this desire to be free of desire because they know that they can't get their desires. I think there's an irony, which is my path is I would tell people to work your ass off and get your desires so that you can see that that's not really going to fulfill you. That's my jam. Yeah, I think a lot of people are attracted to Eastern ideology of giving up and letting go because it's a way to say, here we go, I'm going to be extremely offensive. I failed at everything. I couldn't make any money. I couldn't get the girl. I couldn't do anything that had value. I'm not respected by my community. My parents think I'm a joke. I sit around and smoke weed and I play bongos all day. Ooh, I know. I'm Buddhist now. See, I'm on a path. That's the reason I'm on this. And I think it's, if you're offered advice, shouldn't you be well-versed in all faiths? Go for it. Test my knowledge of faith right now. Let's go. Let's do it. Which one do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Islam? Oh, which one? Shia? Sunni? Oh, do you want to talk about Sufism? Oh, you want to talk about Zoroastrianism? Oh, Norse? Oh, you want to talk about Christianity? Okay, which era of Christianity do you want to talk about? Okay. I can do this all day long. All day long. I am very fortunate that I had my midlife crisis at 21 and had to proceed to read thousands and thousands and thousands of books and do as much things to try to find out if there's any truth that can be had on this planet. Wait for it. If there is any truth. Oh, 5 pillars, easy, ready? Fuck bitches, get paid, F the 5-0. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I do think that what I have achieved, which is pretty cool, I think, The Creator said not to have false idols. Is Jesus that false idol? Sure. I think if you believe in Jesus as an external thing, I mean, Jesus himself said, do not worship me, worship my message. Do you guys know that? Do not worship me, worship my message. And then we said, okay, and then we worship Jesus. So there you go. And by the way, which creator are you talking about? It's a good question. Never knew you did that at 21. Yeah. Complete meltdown and proceeded to cloister myself away and do nothing but read and study and meditate for many, many years and avoid all the things that would distract me from that path. So there you go. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. Okay. Which Jesus? Oh, you mean the Jesus that was written about in a book that was trusting what another guy wrote about, that another guy wrote about, that another guy wrote about 150 years after Jesus even was born, who said that he knew best about what Jesus wanted. Okay. What I find hilarious, when you ask a question and when you ask a question and then they say you're wrong and here's why. Discovery Radio. If you guys are not following Discovery Radio, you are sucking, because here's the thing. Discovery Radio leaned into something on TikTok and said this: I'm going to give a voice to independent artists. See, I give shout outs to people that are like, and I will tell you this, you can go to the website of Discovery Radio and you can see what he's doing, which I have playlists now in Spotify based on artists that were discovered from this. And I think that's really cool, because I go, how neat is it to listen to music that, you know, maybe they never even had a voice, never even had a chance to be heard. I have a playlist on Spotify, my own Spotify, that says from TikTok. So if you guys aren't following Discovery Radio, you really should. And especially catch the radio shows that he does, because that's a chance to hear new artists on stuff. I don't share his pen chants for metal the same way. It irks me a little bit, but that's because I am an electronic disco freak, and that's horrible. Anyway, that's just funny. Let's see. Do you think there's anything special, spiritual about us at all? Absolutely. No question about it. Okay, wait a second. Jesus says that the Old Testament, I want to make sure I catch these. Do you think there's anything special, spiritual about us at all? Of course I do. Absolutely. No question. The historically documented Jesus. All right, cool. Psychology and spirituality. I don't think necessarily that. I was just talking about nirvana. Healing frequencies. Do you believe that they could be also mind controlling? I think that what we're going to find is, Mario, Discovery Radio, thank you. It's for people who need appreciation for the hard work. Dude, you guys don't understand that here's my point. Do you guys think that if I thought Discovery Radio sucked, I would go, dude, you suck? Do you think I would not say that? Of course I would, in 5 seconds flat. So when I tell you he's giving voice to people that don't have a voice on TikTok and changing people's lives with that, that's freaking baller. That is baller. I don't even own a TV either. So I think that you guys should listen to these new artists that are coming up. There's someone who I just heard, it's that Wild One song. Do you know what I'm talking about, Discovery Radio? It's that Wild One, and I don't know if she's promoted through you or not, but it's pretty cool. It's an okay song. Back to what Mario was asking about healing frequencies. See, what I would do if I were coaching Marijuano, and he's pushing towards plant medicines and vibrations and all that, what do you think I would do with him? Because I'm a musician in search of something, okay? What would I do with marijuana, though, if I was coaching him, because this is my path? I'd say, look, dude, you're already comfortable in the plant medicine, and you're already comfortable in the crystals and the vibration. I get you. I get your jam. So check this out. We're going to build $1 million business, and I would have him learn the other world. We're already good at what we're good at. What if we leaned into the stuff that we sucked at? I'm asking this as food for thought. What do you guys think? What if we said, what's the area that we're weakest in, and we were to focus on that, what might happen? What would that do for our belief about our ability to, Mario, create new neurological pathways in the brain? If we took on the hardest thing that we felt the worst at, what do you think that would happen? Martin 2 and 194 says, do you think anyone has any real psychic abilities, medium, seers? Yes, I do. Would you like me to share my own? Because I'm happy to. How I document this is I go to my girlfriend and I say, hey, I want to tell you what's up. Here's this thing. This is what's happening. And I'll answer your question in a second, Fleetwood. I'm going to give you an example right now. In my business stuff, I do a lot of bigger level stuff. Is I just got hit with somebody saying, oh, by the way, I need $35,000 in 90 days. And I was like, oh shit, I've been spending so much money lately. Dang, I got to spend $35,000 in 90 days. So this is your channel, my friend. Thank you for the plug. Love your philosophy. Man, I love you. I think I'm going to sound really soft and squishy here, but what you do matters. And if people can't see your heart and soul in it and that you care, and this dude is not trying to make a buck. He's trying to elevate people and give them a voice that they may never get. And he's paying for their freaking music. So seriously, if you guys don't follow Dicsover You Radio, you suck. Get out. Leave my channel. You should do it. This guy's a badass and he's giving a voice to people. And I'm not even giving enough voice to people that way here. So he's killing it. And he's using a platform instead of this narcissistic, self-absorbed, sexualized bullshit way. He's giving people a chance to be heard. That's badass and it matters. You're saving lives, dude. Okay. That's my plug for Dicsover You Radio. Back to the psychic ability thing. I'm going to tell you a story. So I got told, hey, you know what? You're going to have to pay this thing off in 90 days. It's 35 grand. And I was like, shit, are you serious? And I'm like, and then I was like, Kristen, come here. That's my girlfriend. And I sat her down and I said, hey, let's do that thing. And she's like, what are you talking about? I go, hey, I just want you to hear this. And she's like, oh my gosh, really? So I got to pay off 35 grand in 90 days. And I go, yeah. And I go, I have no idea where it's going to come from. None at all. But I know because my brain is tuned into the highest good. And I know that what I'm doing in my business is not for me. I hope that I benefit. That's cool. But I can say with my hand to whatever, universe or God or whatever, that it's not about me. I'm wanting to elevate everyone around me. And so I know that I'm tuned into the right thing. And I said, I have no idea where this is going to come from. And here's another one of those stories. This happens all the time because it's not good enough for me to know. I just have to, so I have to document it. And it was funny because I got a call less than 25, no, it was about 6 hours later that I didn't know that I had this money coming in that's somewhere around 22 grand. That's kind of cool. That's 22 of the 35. That's kind of neat. And then the other money, I had a person I was talking to and he's like, dude, I want to do something X, Y, and Z. I want to hand you $50,000. And then another person that I was talking to that's like, look, I owe you this money. I want to give you this 30 grand. So I just want to share that it was within 24 hours. It wasn't 35 grand. It was 22 plus 30 plus 50, which is about 102,000. I don't know what you want to do with that. It's weird. Here's what's funny. Do I believe any of that? Do I believe it? Nope, don't believe it. But I use it all the time. Because believing means you don't know, and I know. Do you guys get that? So we got really esoteric. We got into a lot of philosophy stuff that happens and everything. Where this originally started is I was trying to talk about, you guys don't need to make millions of dollars. If you can go, wow, material stuff isn't going to make you happy, and instead you create meaning and value and a life mission of doing whatever it is. Mine happens to be elevating other people, however that takes, however that looks. And then you figure it out, then you go, God, I don't need to be a millionaire. I just need a couple $100 grand or whatever to travel around the world and do stuff. And that's pretty badass to have that solved. That's called solving the money game. Click, check, done. And even when you do solve all that, you're still going to be doing this. Because now it's not about you anymore. It's about helping others solve the money game. Cool. How do you elevate others? Don't you need something to offer? Sure. How do you elevate others? I elevate others by holding up a mirror for them to see themselves truly as they are and to decide whether or not they like it. And then to go through and find out what value they have by forcing them into a warrior path where they do the thing that they were not capable of doing. When they begin to do the thing that they knew they couldn't do, they begin to see their potential for doing whatever they want in life, and they elevate themselves. So I don't elevate others, they elevate themselves. Don't you need something to offer? Let me ask you this. Fleetwood, do you think I don't have something to offer? It's a good question. I know what I have to offer, which is to be guided by the universe or whatever you want to call it, and to be able to follow the warrior path of showing people that they're so much more resilient and so much more powerful than they thought they were. And it's time to wake up to that. Sure. What advice do you want? Ask me for something and see if I can offer it. Tell me what is holding you back. I know you took a little bit of offense at the death thing, and then you're hoping to escape to nirvana. To me, since that's a completely anti-life approach, I said something offensive again. For myself, I don't think I have anything to offer yet. I'm still in school. We all have more than we know to offer. Yep. But let's take a look at this, Fleetwood. I just said that your pursuit of nirvana is for the wrong reasons, because you're basically saying that you want an anti-life message. I don't want to suffer this way. I don't want to have to face all this. I just want to disappear into the oblivion of bliss and not have to think about anything. Well, that's anti-life. It means you're missing what this is all about and how much it kicks ass. That's my theory. Sorry, people keep pinging me as I'm talking to you guys. We all have more than we know to offer. I think that's absolutely true. Questions, concerns, arguments. Shall we talk more about plant medicine? I'm just kidding. Do I think frequencies can hurt people and heal people? Yeah, of course I do. Sure. Yeah. I never said I believed in nirvana. I find it very interesting. I don't need to believe in it. I've been there. Don't need to believe in it. It is very interesting, for sure. But just like the person who understands and has completion and understanding the role in the whole of the universe and what it's about, the question is, now what? What do you do with that? Just like the plant medicine thing. Well, you guys know that there were the people that instead of disappearing into nirvana and saying, gone, gone, all the way gone, completed, gone, gate, gate, paragate, parasam gate, bodhisvaha, enlightened, they decided instead of that to say, cool, I get it. I get the game. I'm going to hang out here. I'm going to hang out here and we're going to talk. And I'm going to help others around me. And those people that understand completion, understand their role in the universe, understand the part they play, and then instead of just walking into the forest, hanging out and helping the people around them are called, what are they called, you guys? You guys know. What are they called? The people that have experienced complete realization, and rather than being done with this life, they hang out here to elevate others on that path. What do they call those people? Bodhisattvas, right? People that have experienced samadhi, satori, complete realization, and rather than leaving this corporeal existence, they hang out here to help elevate others, are called bodhisattvas. What's wrong with that? That's pretty cool. Something to offer other than money. Oh, wait a minute. I never said I believe nirvana. I find it very interesting. What was the most healing moment in your life? God, I hope it's yet to come. How about that? Is that okay? I love it. I mean, I love all the healing that I've had. The most healing moment that I've had is when I realized I was never broken. How about that? Something to offer other than money. Do you have any book recommendations for the stuff we've been talking about? Well, Fleetwood, what if I happen to have mentioned my favorite book in the whole world earlier on? And that might be a neat place to start, because it shows you that once you accept that you are a mortal creature, it turns up the temperature on what you're going to do with your time here. So my favorite book would be Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor, V-I-K-T-O-R, Frankl, F-R-A-N-K-L, no E-L. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. That would be my favorite book. Hope that helps. Marijuano, what did you mean by something to offer other than money? Trying to figure that out. By the way, I was just to look at your profile. I play saxophone. What's your talent? Hurt me, but make me feel safe. No, but I'm glad you play saxophone. Do you play bari sax or do you play alto sax? And if you say soprano sax, we can never be friends. Charles Mark Brooks joined. Welcome. So anybody have any questions? Have you guys read Man's Search for Meaning? How many of you guys have read it? Or how many of you have not read it? Because it is a very, very important book. And I hope you do. Sorry, I was cleaning the 25 messages that I've gotten since we've been talking. Alto and trumpet. Cool. Nice. My girlfriend plays trumpet and she plays very well. And she is also a flautist. She plays flute and she is amazingly accomplished with that. So, Man's Search for Meaning. How can I encourage you guys to, I'm seeing how much it is on Amazon. I've given away a bunch of copies of this book. Amazon. Kindle edition. I don't want the Kindle edition. Paperback. That way you can give it away. I'm barely learning again because I was no good at it. Okay, dude. Your learning in the past is what brought you to this point right now where you're able to say you're no good at it. So obviously you were good at it in the sense that it brought you to the perfection of now where you're able to make a choice. Do you have any advice for someone who thinks too deeply of their own mortality? Yeah, I don't think you're thinking too deeply about it. I don't think you're thinking deeply enough. What everyone says is, oh, just don't think about that, blah, 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 and it'll all become better and everything. No, I take the warrior's path, make it worse. Think all about it, make it as horrible as you can. Keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And really, really, really go. And what happens is you're going to get to a point where there's nothing worse than what you're currently thinking about it. And then when you can make peace with that, you're free. Does that click for you, Martin? So see, I've left everything and stepped out. I'm barely learning English, it's no good. I've left everything and stepped out. Okay. Well, that's awesome, dude. I mean, but it's brought you to where you are now, which shows to me that, of course, you're capable of learning. And are you going to carry around the past? Do you need to care about that? Do you need to? It's horrible playing for others and not be embarrassed, but I force myself into it. Baller, dude. That's warrior shit right there. Well, Martin, I mean, I'm going to say this is the thing is that everyone has this fear and everyone is living in and being afraid. Is that where we really want to be? Afraid of death, afraid of all this stuff? The possibility of non-existence is terrifying. Well, here's the thing. I could make you feel better about it and not be scared. That would be cool of me, wouldn't it? To take all your pain away. But I don't want to do that. I would instead want to make your pain much worse. Make it really, really awful so that you have to really ponder this and then you'll come up with an answer. And when you do, it'll no longer have a hold over you. I fucking love life, you guys. I do. I really do. My life, and I don't want to sound like an ass because I'm about to, but I bet my life is better than all of your lives combined. It's so good. It's so good. And I've made it that way on purpose. The things that people suffer about, I just don't suffer about. And I'm able to imagine being able to spend all your time doing exactly what you want to do and hopefully elevating everyone that you come in contact with. It's super awesome. You know what I mean? So I love life. I really do. But I also get it, man. Death is right here. It's on my shoulder. And I know it's going to end. And in that way, it's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful book. But a book has an ending, you guys. And so I'm not going to lie about that. It means that I need to take this seriously and have a hell of a lot of fun and not and figure out what my great quest is. And then when I'm on that great quest, finish it and win. You know? I climb trees to stop overthinking so much. I love it. I do love laughing, and that's why I need to get this now so I start living. Wait a second. You're afraid of death, so you're already quitting? You're already checked out and just like, I'm just going to not do anything. I'm going to sit around and mope because I'm afraid of death. That doesn't make any sense, my dude. I do love life, so I need to get over this now. Okay, so what I'm saying is what we are taught in contemporary society is to, oh, well, no, it's okay. Go get on antidepressants, take pills, do this, do that. No, I think that's dumb. I say literally make it as worse as you possibly can. Suffer as much as you can. And this could happen in 10 minutes. Just sit down and think about it. If this, then this. If this, then this. If this, then this. If I'm dead, then this. If I'm not here, then this and this. And work it all the way to the bottom where it's the worst possible thing that it can be. Here's the thing. Write this down for real, Martin. If X, then Y. Next line is if Y, then Z. If Z, then A. If A, then B. And take the consequences all the way down to the very bottom, making it as worse as you possibly can. If I'm dead, then I won't be here to experience this awesome planet. If I don't experience this awesome planet, then I'll suffer and I'll feel sad and da 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 da. Just take it all the way to the very bottom. And then once you have, look at it. And what you'll find is, oh, okay. And then repeat that as many times as you need. So rather than running from stuff, which is what we're taught to do in society, take a pill, tell yourself it's going to be okay, create safe space, do whatever you need to do. No, lean into it hard as a warrior, take it all the way to its worst possible outcome, and then see if you're going to be okay with that. And once you are, it will not have any pain. If it's it won't have any hold over you. That's called exposure therapy, by the way. Mark Roth says, I disagree with that. My life is generally exceptional and grateful. Hell yeah, man. High five. I'm glad your life is exceptional. Sorry. Nature is out here humping, so. I think there's one part of your life could improve, not. I think there's one part of your life that could improve, not that I don't have my own to do so. Dude, of course there is. I was saying, you weren't on this live, but I told everyone, I'm like, dude, I got fat. Holy shit. A year and a half ago, my health went bad. And so I fixed all that and now it's awesome. And so of course, and what a thing to be grateful for that we can change and we can do stuff. Or that I am rough on people wanting to change that in me all the time. I don't know if that's thank you. um, I've looked everywhere for an answer, philosophy, religion, science. No, the answer is in your head, man. Martin, you've already got the answer. You just need to sit there and seriously write down, if this, then this. Well, if this, then this. And keep filling it in. Like, if I ask a girl out and she says no, then I'll be sad. If I'm sad, then I'll go home and I'll cry. If I go home and I cry, then I'll play video games. If I play video games, then I'll hide away for a week. If I hide away for a week, then I'll get bored. And I get bored, I'll get the courage to ask another girl. You'll get there. It's okay, man. Yep, didn't want to come off that way, dude. Why wouldn't I care? The kids too. I asked you yesterday, and that was your answer. Oh, I think you asked me if there was something that I think I didn't do great. I think that was something you asked me. That's fair. Totally, totally fair. Here's a pro tip. Don't be a powerlifter, because I'm really super freaking strong. Don't be a powerlifter, and then not sleep. And because when you stop sleeping, you stop producing human growth hormone. And when I got my blood work done, and they're like, dude, you got the blood of a 25-year-old, but you're going to die. And the doctor prescribed you need to sleep 9.5 hours a day. 9.5 hours a day. And I'm like, holy shit, that's big, big stuff. So I am now 55. I am on hormone therapy. I take very, very teeny tiny levels of testosterone. I hope that I can get off of that with my blood work the next time I have it done in about 6 more weeks. I don't care if I'm on it or off it. It doesn't really matter to me. But you're absolutely right, man. I don't want to be dead from a freaking heart attack. Thank God. I mean, dude, I got all my numbers, my markers, my cholesterol, my triglycerides. They're all freaking brilliant. And that's because I think it's because I do all my own cooking and I don't eat processed food from anywhere. That's my theory. That's not a better life, dude. What's not a better life? What's not a better life? Your life couldn't be better because being overweight is Yes, I do raise my own chickens. Yep. Having your own chickens, and I raise bunnies for food. Oh my God. I eat rabbits. My bunnies are over here. I think there's a way for me to flip the screen. Dang it. I always want to do that, but I don't even know how. Flip camera. My bunnies live over there. And do 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 do. Yeah. I really, really like having oh, young rabbit is the best. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm letting them go to 12 weeks. Do you think that's too old? They end up being about 3.5 pounds at that age. So that's how far I'm letting them go. Young rabbit is the best. I mean, the one thing I will tell you is rabbit, because there's no fat in it, it's all protein. You have to be really careful about cooking it because you can overcook it and make it turn chewy. Are there any prerequisites to turn dreams, visions into reality? Yes. Consistent action, forcing you to take action in the areas that scare the shit out of you. That turns your dreams into reality. What's the thing that you fear the most? Start doing that in small ways every single day, and your dreams will become reality. How do I know that? Because I was deathly afraid of going from real estate person to investment banker. Here we are. Low cholesterol eggs, nice. I don't know. I'm not afraid of cholesterol, dude. I think cholesterol is great for you. I think the idea that high cholesterol is bad is silly. Do you believe in the laws of manifestation? Of course I do. Absolutely. Here's what I think. I think people aren't tuned into the laws of attraction manifestation the right way. I think they're tuned into it from a place of fear or lack or, oh, I just need this. I just need this in my life because I'm lacking. And so they fundamentally don't understand it. And what they're really manifesting is more of the same. Think about it. What if your biggest fear is failure? Then, Fleetwood, I'm about to set you free, man. You said, what if you have nothing to offer? Check this out, man. Your biggest fear is failure. Okay. Give me something that you're going to fail on. Are there any prerequisites to turn visions? Yeah. So did I answer your question, ego accendo, of turning visions, dreams into reality? Consistent action in the area that you're terrified of the most. Look, I mean, seriously, I can talk to you guys in my life. I am super freaking smart. I love my family, my friends, my community, my tribe, my intentional community. I love all of you. I am financially fine. Socially, I'm great. Emotionally, I'm great. Psychologically, spiritually, I'm great. Physically, oh, I'm not there yet. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm not going to be. You really haven't taken on your biggest fear because you can't. See, I don't know if it's a language thing because here's my answer. I don't know when you're saying that if you mean one hasn't taken on one's biggest fear because one can't go without money, or if you're talking about me. Because you don't fucking know at all what you're talking about. You have no idea. You have no idea about that, Mario. You don't know my story. And if you did, you would go, oh, sorry, dude, that was a stupid thing to say. I'm not going to get into it very deep, but I'll just say this. I come from a very, very, very bad home. Very bad home. Where it wasn't just like mental, emotional abuse, but physical and sexual and all that kind of stuff. And I escaped and I put myself through college and I lived in a storage unit. And I got a job at a McDonald's. It was an all-black McDonald's and they were racist as fuck to me. And it was this whole thing, but I did what I had to do. And I worked all the way through college, which most people don't have to work through college. I did. And I dumpster dove for food. And I wrote papers for people for money. I did whatever I had to do to hustle because I was in such scarcity. So I don't really want to hear you telling me about me, if that's okay, because I'm not telling you about you and my biggest fear. So you don't think I can go without money? Fuck that. Seriously, fuck that, because you have no idea what you're talking about. You could drop me in another country with no money right now, that I don't speak the language and I'll thrive. So don't tell me that's a fear of mine because I don't give a fuck. I would love it. If you would drop me in a country where I didn't have, here's my challenge. You could drop me in a country that I don't speak the language, and here's my agreement. Until I have earned enough money, get this, not by working, but passively, as a passive investment to give me enough money to fly home, I'll stay there. Easy. I would do that in 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I would do it in 1 minute. You know what I mean? And I'll fucking video it and make a YouTube series out of it, and it'll kill. Because people are like, this dude went to a country where he doesn't even speak the language, and in a month he'd created a passive income enough for him to receive that money to buy a plane ticket home. Done. Let's go. So respectfully, Mario, I didn't know if you meant one, you haven't faced your biggest fear, and that's being poor. What kind of lame ass shit is that your biggest fear is being broke? I bet you, I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask, Mark Roth, have you lost a bunch of money sometime or lost everything before? I'm just curious because I think you said you were, I don't think you're as old as I am, but somewhere in that range. I'm just curious. I want to go back up because I kind of, Fleetwood is saying, so we've refuted the idea that you haven't taken on your biggest fear because you can't go without money. That's not my biggest fear. That's silly. Easy street. I don't know, not finding a job, providing for myself. Okay. If you couldn't find a job and if you couldn't provide for yourself, Fleetwood, and you failed school and you're in an architecture program, if that happened, then what? Let's do it. I can go to, I'm not inviting you. No, man, I don't want to be around you. You're going to tell me to eat plant medicine and rub crystals and listen to frequencies. It's kind of annoying. Okay, there we go. You see Mark Roth? And he LOL'd. That's someone that has mastered that area of their life. You should be paying attention, Mario, because he says, I've been straight up Baroque. I know. Isn't it funny? Let me ask you this, Mark. It's no fun. Don't get me wrong. It sucks. It really sucks. But does it control you, or you're not afraid of it because you've been through it? You're like, I didn't die. It just sucked. That ramen noodle days. Yep. Lost my job, failed in school, been fired, lost my business. Yup. I think my biggest thing was losing about, probably about 800 grand. And that's when you're like, damn. Fuck. Damn. Now what? So that's kind of funny. Boss Baby, 2333. Welcome, Boss Baby. There's a meme. Somebody says I should know what Boss Baby is. I don't know what Boss Baby is, but they're like, you should know what Boss Baby is. I don't know. Yeah, so being poor is not my biggest thing. But Fleetwood, I want to go back to that thing. What everyone tells you is, oh, don't worry about it. Just believe in yourself and everything will be fine. Find a safe space to retreat you and people that support you. Boss Baby is a movie. It's a movie, very funny. Hang on a minute. Boss Baby movie. Watch the Boss Baby. It's a hilarious original comedy. We made an unusual baby with a secret mission. Okay. So is it worth me watching it? I'll give up the flashy stuff for your health. See, and here's the thing about manifesting. Somebody asked about manifesting. I want you guys to hear that Mario Wano's point on that. And I'm sorry I'm picking on you a little bit, but you deserved it. It's fine. Let's take a look at this thing. I'll give up the flashy stuff for my health. Do you guys hear that? What is that thinking? Does that sound like abundant thinking? Does that sound like manifesting the best and highest good for everybody, including himself? Because to me, it sounds like incredibly weak, limited thinking. Well, I'll give up that for my health. You don't think he's manifested that now? That dude's going to be poor as shit. He's got his health, so he's going to be able to sit around and smoke weed and play bongos. He'll be healthy, but he's going to be poor as shit. Why would you ever want to give up something like that? Why not say, I'm going to have the flashy stuff and I'm going to be super healthy and I'm going to lift up everyone around me. Well, trailer park operational in 2022, it already is. I have 2 in Georgia that are operational. I have 2 in Oklahoma that are coming online. One is online already. The other one we're closing on, I guess today, somewhere around there. What do you think of meditation? I think it's incredibly important. Mark Roth, you can have both. It's a test to you, but he's not doing it himself. Yep. So Mark, here's my question. In Tornado Alley. Yeah, definitely. That's all it is. It's Tornado Alley. Boss Baby. So Mark, I'm taking this as not as a piece of advice, and I'm going to go watch that movie. So if it sucks, I'm going to have to yell at you about it because, you know, I only have a certain time and I don't really want to spend my time watching glass and plastic. But if it's a good movie, I'm going to do it. It better be good. That's not good. Oh, Mario, what should I do instead? I'm fascinated by this. Plant medicine? Should I be listening to vibrational things? What can I do to stop tornadoes? Oh my God, what about geopolitical events? What about Russia and Ukraine? What should I do about that? Oh my God, you know, there's a new variant of COVID. You know that, right? That's coming along. Oh my God, what can we do about that? You know, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm just kidding. Why would I be afraid? And why do you think I wouldn't have already thought about this? Look up the construction of what we're building and you'll go, oh my God, it's cool. I got to go. Dim sum with the wife and kids. You have yourself a good one. Thank you, Mark Roth. Mark Roth is a genius equity investor. What he does, I am absolutely impressed. My best year, I got 72%. This dude does 40% year after year after year in a down market. Hello. So yeah, Mark, I hope I'm following you. I think I'm following you, aren't I? No, because you don't have any stuff out there. All right, that's fine. Karen Vaughn, 64. Guys, I think I should call it. I think I'm going to go do some stuff, get some work done, and I have to watch Boss Baby, I just found out. I'm up at the farm by myself I've been up here a week by myself, so the solitary time has been really good. It's been really nice. But yeah, I think my girlfriend is coming up in a couple days. That'll be nice. Yeah, enjoy your weekend. Manny, if you ever want to put out content, and I can't go live with you because I don't think you've got enough people. A Boss Bear series on Netflix. If you want to start with just an episode or two, what? No, guys, is it a movie or is it a series? I don't have time for, like, someone was like, I'm trying to get into the world, and this guy's like, you need to watch this Attack on Titan. And I looked it up, and it was like 53 episodes. And I'm like, dude, I cannot watch 53 episodes. That's insanity. You know, I can't do it. We've spent some time, hung out, talked about some stuff. Hopefully gotten a Renaissance approach to life of all these things, how they're all the same. Your spirituality is the same as your finances. It's the same as your social. It's the same as your health. What? How can that be? Well, it is. So if you're limited in an area, my incredible advice to you would be to take the area that you're the weakest in your life and lean into it. I don't know what your disability is in being patient. I don't even know what your disability is. You said I was making fun of it. I would make fun of it, but I don't know what it is. You never told me. I thought English was your second language. I wasn't sure because with your name Rodriguez and Mario Juano, unless you're trying to be clever saying marijuana. I don't know. Whatever. So I think I'm going to close this out. But before I do, I'm going to try to go live, you guys, because the voice that came to me said that TikTok is not for me and my ego. It's for me trying to share what I know with the world and affecting people. So I'm going to do this quite often, I think. I don't know if I'll shoot any more content. I can't decide. I'm open to hearing from people if they have any strong opinions on that. But I do value you being here. You took time out of your day. And I think I did in the middle of the freaking day. That's kind of weird. So, you know, my advice to you all is to continue on the warrior's path. Look at the stuff you're scared of. If you want to ever match with somebody, and what I mean is send me a message and say, hey, this is the scary thing that I'm taking on. And I'll send you a message back saying, hey, here's the scary thing I'm taking on. And sometimes it's cool to know that people are on a path that way together. So that's it. And Mindy Tucker, you just showed up, but I think we're going to jam. I think we're going to get out of here. But do you guys have any last questions about shoot, I don't know how to do this. Do you guys have any last questions about anything that we've talked about today or anything that I can help you with? If you do, ask me now. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, I think that's good. Welcome, Soul Shepherd. I'm sorry that we're about to bail on you. So sorry that you showed up, but I really do wish you all the best. I hope that you understand that leaning into stuff doesn't make it bad. And there's going to come a time when you go, thank you to the universe for the hard problems that you're given. And what a cool thing. So I love you all. Be very, very good. And I hope you have a really great rest of your day. So I'm out of here.